Greetings, my friends. I want to thank you all for subscribing. I want to thank all of my channel members for supporting me in this endeavor to save pop culture. And if you are not subscribed, please consider supporting this channel. We need you. Thank you. Yesterday was Investor Day at Disney, where a whole slew of new projects were announced, including a bunch of new Star Wars shows for Disney+.
Meet the new shows. Same as the old shows. Isn't it interesting, oh future ruler of Earth, that out of all these new Star Wars shows, all of them are looking backwards? Isn't it weird that there isn't a single project involving the characters from the Disney Sequel Trilogy?
That's true, Harvey. We've got The Bad Batch, the sequel to the Clone Wars focusing on a bunch of clone troopers. We've got Obi-Wan Kenobi, which goes back to a period of time between the prequels and the original trilogy. You've got Ahsoka and Rangers of the New Republic, which are set to run alongside The Mandalorian in continuity. Andor, which is about Cass Andor in Rogue One. And yet, where are the sequel characters in this mess, Harvey Cthulhu? What, no show about the amazing Wonder Ray, the bestest ever? Seriously? Where are the shows about Poe and Finn?
Well, it's hard to star in a TV show if you don't have a personality. I mean, Finn is boring as hell and Poe is a big zero. Might as well have a show called Watching the Grass Grow or Drying Paint, the musical.
Jazz hands. Man, that paint is drying fierce, girlfriend. Yeah, I think there is no greater admission of Kathleen Kennedy's failure than the fact there is no demand whatsoever for any Disney Plus series based on Rey, Poe, or Finn. Nope. The only appetite that remains for Star Wars now is for shows set in the past. Set in George Lucas's past. Besides, what the hell would a show about Rey even look like?
I think it would be like Kung Fu. Rey goes to a new town, finds a speeder mechanic down on his luck, and she teaches him how to repair speeders.
Rey goes to a new town and finds a Tusken Raider down on his luck and teaches him how to use a gaffy stick.
Rey goes to a new town and finds a bantha proctologist down on his luck and teaches him how to look in bantha assholes.
Rey goes to a new town and finds an alternate universe Rey, who goes from town to town teaching people how to do their jobs better. And so each one, being the bestest ever, tries to help the other one be a better bestest ever. That's the season cliffhanger.
Are you listening, Lucasfilm Story Group? This is gold here, I tell you. Gold!
They never listen, Harvey. And that is why they fail. But you have made an excellent point, Harvey Cthulhu. Indeed, Kennedy has destroyed Star Wars to such an extent that after 3 movies and a Lego's Star Wars holiday special guaranteed to make the whole family throw up, there is no path moving forward with these characters. None. What an incredibly botched opportunity that after years of sequel films, Disney has utterly failed to create a unique identity for itself in terms of Star Wars. It has utterly failed to put its own creative fingerprint on George Lucas's galaxy far, far away. And despite their protestations and phony press releases that the Disney Sequel Trilogy was a success, by their deeds shall ye know them, and their deeds tell us they have failed. Let's look at some of these shows, shall we, and what they imply about Star Wars moving forward. Favreau and Filoni have 2 new series coming out, one of which may change the fate of Star Wars forever. Rangers of the New Republic and Ahsoka. Rangers of the New Republic is a series by Favreau and Filoni starring Gina Carano as Cara Dune, and Ahsoka, which stars Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka. Rangers was a show that Favreau wanted to do in order to keep Gina Carano in the fold, even as Feige was looking to poach her and get her committed to the MCU. But the real story here, folks, the earth-shaking part of this announcement was Ahsoka. Look at the title card for her show.
Holy shit, it's the Veil of the Force.
Exactly, Harvey. As per the rumor I reported these many moons ago, there are factions inside Disney that recognize what a disaster the Disney Sequel Trilogy is and want to erase the sequel trilogy. And here it is. Here is the method they will use. My agents were reporting rumblings that Ahsoka and the Veil of the Force would be instrumental in erasing the damage that Kennedy wrought, and now it appears that rumor was well-founded. Look at the evidence. Not one of these announced Star Wars projects moving forward has anything whatsoever to do with the sequel trilogy, and that is because they are preparing to discard it. Disney is out of the sequel trilogy business. That the sequels were a failure is beyond dispute now, since they are no longer using the Disney sequel trilogy characters moving forward. And now, here comes Ahsoka, a new series where the Veil of the Force is so prominent, it is featured on her title card.
For those of you who don't know, the Veil of the Force is a mystical dimension of the Force connecting time, space, and alternate realities, a kind of quantum realm of the Force.
That's right, Harvey. And get a load of this. As per Disney, Rangers of the New Republic and Ahsoka will cross over with future seasons of The Mandalorian and culminate in a, quote, climactic story event, unquote. It is my belief that this climactic story event will be the erasure and decanonization of the Disney sequel trilogy.
Holy crap. Everything is unfolding as you have foreseen it. I guess this means you won't be pressing the button anytime soon? The button that will free me to destroy life, the universe, and everything?
Not at the moment, Harvey, but don't despair. Star Trek Discovery sucks so incredibly bad that the temptation to push the button that would lower your containment field and free you to wreak havoc remains constant and annoyingly niggling. Yes, it appears that the pieces are being put in place to erase the Disney sequel trilogy and restore order to Lucas's galaxy, and yet at the same time, Kennedy remains. Kennedy presented the big investor call, and it looks like she's not going anywhere as a result. The thinking was that Kennedy would be gone once her contract came up for renewal in 2021. Kennedy thought she would have an easy job landing a position at another company. After all, she was the genius that made the Disney sequel trilogy a platform for wokeness. And Disney was very happy to get rid of her because she was the genius that made the Disney sequel trilogy a platform for wokeness. But even before the coup hit, my sources were telling me that Kennedy was having real trouble finding a new position. And so at that point, Kennedy decided maybe she wanted to stay. And it was understood that as a highly placed female executive in this atmosphere of hypersensitive snowflakes, Kennedy would kick up a fuss if she was forced out of her position, alleging all sorts of baseless and cynical charges of misogyny against the studio. So now that she's clinging like grim death to her job, Disney is thinking that prying her fingers off of her desk is too great a risk after all. And now her presentation of the slate of new TV shows and projects at the Disney Investor Day seems to indicate that Kennedy won't be going anywhere. Now I'm informed by sources that a condition of her staying is that while she can go ahead and fuck up garbage like Children of Blood and Bone, which is a new project based on a book that is already pre-fucked with wokeness, if she stays, she can no longer infect Star Wars with her identity politics filth. But can it possibly contain her?
Yeah, I mean, look at Harvey Weinstein enabler and assistant Leslye Headlands' new Star Wars show, The Acolyte. This thing is gonna be woker than woke, isn't it?
Oh hell yes, Harvey. The Acolyte is going to be a female-centric Star Wars series, and it's going to be so woke it could give a sleepless night to a bottle of Ambien. So what could this show be about?
I think it's gonna be about how it turns out that not only is the Force female, but dicks interfere with it. The male organ messes up the Force, and so there's a bunch of women who go around chopping dicks off and sending them to the Sith. And the Sith get the dicks and say, hey, look at that, some dicks. And they wear them like necklaces or put them in their saddlebags or their hats, not realizing that the dicks will limit their Sith powers. And then the women come and chop them up, being pure and dickless.
Except if it's a trans dick. Those kinds are fabulous.
Yes, that's right. They're like magic wands of the Force, if you put some glitter on them.
Tinkerbell, eat your heart out.
Amen.
I also hear that Hayden Christensen is going to return as Darth Vader in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, which is a huge problem, but we'll talk about that next time. And there you have it, people. Looks like Disney may well be moving to erase the sequel trilogy, but since it appears that Kennedy may be staying behind after all, will she be able to thwart it? Stay tuned to this channel for updates, my friends. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry.